Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for our lesson. As always, before we get started to any lesson, I would like for us to take a moment and say thank you to our friends and family that is helping us from day to day. And today we're doing Module 4, Lesson 37. So let's get started. The objective of today's lesson is add or subtract 0 to get the same number and relate to word problems where in the same quality that joins a set and separates, which in simple language it means that we're going to add 0 and subtract 0 from a number to see what happens to the answer. And these are the materials you'll be needing for today's lesson, which are something to write with. You'll need your loose leaf paper, you'll need your math book, you'll need your number bond chart, and you'll need some sort of materials, about 10 pieces of it. So let's get started with the application problem. So today's application problem is a little bit different because it does not have any number sentences or a number bond. However, we're using pictures. So it is very important for us to listen to the story. I will be reading the story twice. The first time we are just going to listen, and the second time we are going to take one part at a time and we'll do it together. I will do from my side, you will do from yours, and we'll come back together in the screen to see if our picture matches the picture that is in the computer. Chico, the puppy, had 8 toys. His owner threw 2 of them, but Chico brought them right back. Show the story with the toys you created. Did Chico lose any of his toys? Did he find any more new toys? How many toys does Chico have at the end of the story? So the first time we just listen. Now, the second time we're going to be listening, and we're also going to be thinking about what the story might look like in the picture. Chico the puppy had 8 toys. His owner threw 2 of them. So remember, he had 8 and he threw 2 of them, but Chico brought them right back. Show the stories with the toys you created. Did Chico lose any of his toys? That's the first part we have to figure out. Did he lose any of his toys? Did he find any more new toys? How many toys does Chico have at the end of the story? So I'm going to be using dog bones, but you can draw any toys you like, or you can just do circles or squares or lines, whichever you're comfortable with. So I know he has 8 toys, right? And his owner threw 2 of them away. But Chico brought the 2 right back. So my question is, did he lose any of his toys? No, because he brought, even though his owner threw 2 of them away, but he brought the same toys back. So did he lose any? No. Did he find any more new toys? Remember, he started off with 8. After he found his 2 toys that his owner threw, did he find any more new toys? No, he did not. That's great. How many toys did Chico have at the end of the story? So at the end of the story, let's count to see how many toys does Chico have. So he has 5 at the top, 3 at the bottom. 5 and 3 makes 8, right? He started the story with 8 toys, and now he's ending his story with 8 toys. Even though the owners threw 2 away, but he brought them back. So the answer from the beginning, the number from the beginning and the end, it does not change. So today I'm going to introduce you guys a new math vocabulary. It's called a number path. The definition for a number path is as follows. A number path is a counting model. Each number is represented within a rectangle, and the rectangles can be counted forward and backwards. just like right here, I have a big rectangle and there are small little compartments. There are little rooms for each number. And we are going to learn how to count forward and backward. So remember in the objective, it says that we're going to count forward and backward. So the way it would happen is like this. So we count forward by showing jumps like this. So imagine I started off in 5 and I'm making jumps all the way up to here. So you have to figure out how many jumps did I make. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 jumps and I landed on 10. So in our math stories, using number path, it's going to tell you where the number starts and how many jumps you have to make. What the story will not tell you, it's the answer, and you have to figure out based on how many jumps. Forward, we use the word forward in terms of addition. Whenever you hear the word forward, as you can see, the numbers are getting bigger. Like we started in 5, every time we jumped one space, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 is bigger than 5. However, if the numbers, if the story is saying going backwards, so the backwards, I'm going to show it in the bottom, and the bottom one is backward. And the way we show backward is subtraction, because we started off with 5 and we made 5 jumps, we landed on 1, and we know 1 is smaller than 5, which means backwards mean subtraction. In the beginning of our module for addition and subtraction, I gave you guys some keywords or clue words to help you figure out if it's an addition problem or a subtraction problem. You can add forward for addition and backward for subtraction. And if you, for this number path, you can find the strips in your book, and please tell an adult to cut the strips for you with scissors or rip the pages out to help you for your problem sets. But if you do not have the book, I'm going to teach you how to make your own number path. So all you will need is 2 lines and loose leaf paper. Actually, you'll need loose leaf paper, and you are going to, you are going to draw 2 lines on the loose leaf paper like this, and you are going to make a rectangle like that. Right after you do, and you are just going to make small boxes like this on your paper. Now the boxes doesn't have to be even, as long as you have 10. After that, you will label your each box with your number to show that you have 10 boxes. I messed up and I did only 8. All I have to do, if I'm drawing it on the loose leaf, I just have to extend it, right? And once you're done, you can tell an adult to cut along the lines for you. Remember, you are telling an adult. And if you do not want to cut it, that's okay. You can leave it on your loose leaf paper and we'll use our fingers to count them. So today our lessons, we will begin with we are going to use this number path to count forward and backward in our addition sentence. So pretend I'm starting at 5, right? I'm starting at 5 and I'm going to jump 3 space. How would I show that I'm jumping 3 space? I can just draw the jumps. I have 1 jump, 2 jump, and 3 jump. I'm going to label my jumps to show that I jump 3 spaces, right? And I'm landing on 8. So I'm going to put an underline, 2 lines underneath the number that I ended with. So I started off with 5 and I made 3 jumps and it landed on 8. How would that look like in my number sentence? the way it would look is 5, just like the 5 here, and I made 3 jumps. I have 1, 2, 3. I added 3 to my jumps, right? And I did, and it got landed into 8, which means 8 and is my answer. 5 and 3. 5 plus 3 equals 8. You can also check your work by using your hands. You can have 5 fingers in one hand, and you can count on 3 fingers, 6, 7, 8, to match your number sentence and your number path. So now I'm going to change the color of my pen to show how would I subtract. We did addition, now we're going to subtract. So now I'm going to start at 8 because in our addition sentence we left the answer was 8, right? And I'm going to jump 3 space backward. And with the blue marker, I'm going to show at the bottom, I'm jumping 3 space back. So that's exactly what I'm showing. I started off with 8, I did 3 jumps backward, and I landed on 5. Remember, I'm using the same exact math number line. I'm sorry, not number line, but a number path to show how to count or add or subtract. The way I made it easier for myself, which you can do it as well. Subtraction, I'm always choosing the bottom of the path, and addition, I'm choosing the top of the path. And that's how I would know to use which one is subtraction, which one is addition. So how would the number sentence look like? I started off with 8 and I jumped 3 space backward. I started off with 8 and I minus 3, or I jumped 3 space backward, and I landed on 5, right? I landed on 5. So same thing, again, you can take out 8 fingers, you can put 3 of them away, and you'll see you're ending up with 5. Let's continue again. This time I'm going to show you the number sentence, and let's see if we can work backwards. So my number sentence says 5, which means I'm starting off with 5, and it added 4, right? It's plus 4, so I'm going to make 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want, you can label. You don't have to. Labeling makes it easy for me to understand. I made 4 jumps, and it shows that 4 and 4 matches, and I landed on 9. So I know 5 plus 4 equals 9. Now we're going to look at another number sentence, but this time it's subtraction, and we're going to work backward to show that how that looks like in our subtraction sentences. So in subtraction, we started off with 9, so I'm going to show 9 right here, and I moved backward 4 space. So I'm going to move backward 4 space. And I will label it to show that I'm jumping 4 space backward, just like our number sentence here. And again, I landed on 5. So I know 9 minus 4 equals 5. Perfect. So now let's continue to do one more, and this time I'm going to use the number 6. No more number 5, I'm going to use number 6. But what is different about this time is I'm adding 0. So I'm adding 0 to 6. How would that look like in my number sentence? I have 6, I moved forward 0 space. And remember, in 0 in math means nothing. So if I'm moving nothing, that means I stay in the same space. What would the number sentence look like? I have 6 plus 0 equals 6, which means I didn't move a space forward or backward. Same thing for subtraction. Again, I started off with 6. Let me change my color because I want us to understand what I'm talking about. I started off with 6, but did I move any space backward? No, I did not. Did I move any space forward? No. So any number you add or subtract, when it comes to 0, the number stays the same. So 6 take away 0 is 6. 6 adding 0 is 6. Any number you add 0 to, the number stays the same because 0 means nothing. So today we're doing problem set 37, and today's date is May 20, 2020. So please make sure you're in the right problem set. You are putting your name and date in both pages. Remember, name and date on both pages, and this is only for the students who have the math book. So let's do this one together. It says, listen to each story. Show the story with your fingers on the number path. Then fill in the number sentence. I'm going to use a marker to show how I do it. You do not have to do markers. You can do it with your fingers because you're using the same number path across all problems, so that way you don't get confused. Freddie had 3 strawberries for snack. His dad gave him 2 more strawberries. How many strawberries does Freddie have now? So let's look at the number sentence. It says 3 plus 2. From our story, we know he started off with 3 and his dad gave him 2 more. So I'm going to make 2 more jumps. And what number did I land on? The number sentence says 3 plus 2. I landed on 5, which means now he has a total of 5 strawberries, right? And you can use your fingers to figure out what 3 plus 2 is. Now let me change the color of my pen to a different color to show the next one. Now we know Freddie has 5 strawberries, right? So Freddie ate 2 of his strawberries. We started off with 5 from the previous story, and he ate 2 strawberries. How many strawberries does Freddie have now? So the number sentence says 5 minus 2. So we're going to backward. He ate 2, so I'm going to make 2 jumps backward. And now he landed on 3. So I'm going to write 3. The way it made it easy for me is when I do additions on the top and bottom is for subtraction. So now you have a discriminated way to figure out which one is addition, which one is subtraction. So the number or the path doesn't get confusing. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is for the problem. This problem set is for the students who does not have the math book. Again, this is for the student who does not have the math book. At this time, we're doing number sentence and number bonds using number path. Joey had 5 pennies. Joey had 5 pennies. He found 3 pennies in the couch. How many pennies did Joey have now? So Joey had 5 pennies. I'm going to circle 5. And he found 3 more pennies. So I'm going to do a number path of 3 or jumps of 3, and he landed on 8. So now he must have 8 pennies. So I'm going to circle that, and now I have to fill out my number sentence. So my number sentence, I started off with 5. I added 3 jumps to show I did 3, and I landed on 8, which means 8 is the answer. So my number path, my number sentence, and now they have to match my number bond. So I know 5 is one of the part, right? And 3 because I made 3 jumps. And I know 5 and 3 makes it 8. So I'm going to do that. Please make sure you complete the rest by yourself. If you cannot read the story, please ask a parent or a guardian to help you read the story. And parents and guardians, please read the problems 2 times. It will allow them to understand what the story is asking for. And ask them required questions to help out when it comes to addition and subtraction. And the last slide, which is shout out, Today, I would love to give shout out to the entire BCS community, which includes admins, teachers, students. You got your cafeteria workers, you got your deans, you have the staffs from business office and main office. You'll have our entire BCS community, which also includes the friends and families of the students who helps each other for this remote learning, and our BCS staff who helps each other to make the remote learning easier for the teachers and the administrative team. So thank you so much for doing this. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you once again. And please stay safe and wash your hands. And please do not go outside unless you really, really have to, or if you're one of the essential workers. Please wear mask and stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.